Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and we are here at Cleveland Public Theater, and we're here with CPT's Education Director, Chris Seibert, and Samantha Bergman, who's from Oberlin College. You guys are working on a really cool collaboration here. It's called Waterways. Chris, talk about this for a second.
Well, Waterways is a play that has been developed over a whole semester-long, intensive, collaborative process. And the overarching program is called OASIS at Oberlin, which means Oberlin ArtS Intensive Semester.
Right. So you guys have really been working on this in collaboration. This is something that Oberlin has done for a couple of years now, right? And this is this year's collaboration, Sam. So you've been involved. You're a student in theater and dance over there at Oberlin. What's this been like, the collaboration process with CPT?
This year it's been a little different. It's been full-on intensive, just like 5 different disciplinary arts working together to tell stories in whatever way we can. And it's been really interesting coming from a theater and dance background, using all this technology, doing cinema studies work, doing music work that I've never done, and just seeing how it all can come together and make this beautiful story that's cohesive.
So you guys have like theater, dance, music. What else?
Cinema, creative writing, cinema studies.
Theater?
Yeah, theater, dance, music. That's
Right.
yeah.
Right. So talk about this overarching elements cycle, because this is sort of a 3-year project that CPT's been working on. This is the first one. You've got the Earth Plays coming up in a couple of months, which will be the second one. What is this? What's the overarching theme here?
Element Cycle is this undertaking that CPT is doing to be able to bring a lot more awareness to the community about our relationship with all of the elements. So Waterways is first, then Earth Plays will be second this year, and then over the next 2 years we'll do 3 more plays, 2 more on the elements, and then the 5th play will be kind of a combining of all those pieces and a discussion of our human relationship with those elements.
This has a performance art element to it as well, where you've got the audience moving throughout the space through 5 or 6 different venues here, being led by some docents that are walking people through. So we're in one of those venues here. Talk about what's happening here, Chris, in this interesting wave that's behind you here.
This is a sweet little space. This is our vaudeville room. So you'll find that the play starts off in the main space in Gordon Square Theater, but then we break the audience into 4 parts, and they get to travel independently with a docent, and they get to see 4 different discrete pieces in 4 different spaces. So we're in the vaudeville room. This is where things get a little crazy with the mayor and the CEO of Waterways and one of the spirits of the water. And it's really fun that set actually moves.
Yeah, we're watching that move. It's pretty cool. So the theme is that there's a well that's discovered. Everyone's excited because water's scarce, and they think, oh, this well is going to save us. And all the politicians, of course, get involved. We're seeing this happen already, by the way. This is not fantasy. This is reality. And then what happens? Because all of a sudden something happens to this well.
Well, the well it's located on top of an old lake that used to be really plentiful and have tons of water, and a lot of the people in the play, the characters, have personal relationships with that lake. And so the spirit creatures of the water are sort of coming back and trying to remind the humans what they're missing and what they had and how much it meant to them. And so they're bringing up all these memories, and there are these stories of moments at the lake, and the humans start to remember, and things start to change and shift, and
they start to recognize like the importance of sacrifice and how to have hope when there's not a lot of hope around.
Well, let's look around at some of the other areas that you're going to be performing in here for Waterways. Go ahead and show us around.
All right, let's go.
Sure. Okay, so now we're in the James Levin Theater side of the complex, and we're downstairs. And what's going on here? This is a pretty cool water pool you've got built.
yeah, this is what we affectionately call the tub room. It is where the scientists are working at the well, trying to find a way to bring the water up. And this is one of our prime uses of the music, the Tamara music, technology-related music at Oberlin. There are mics in the tub that are catching sounds from the water moving around, from objects being used, and they're being compiled into this sound score as the scientists are working at the well.
You've got some video here as well that's being projected. Chris, talk about how you guys actually did this collaboration and worked with students to put all this together?
The students worked with 5 different professors at Oberlin, and the professors were in different departments. We had 2 cinema studies professors, a professor from Tamara, the technology and music and related arts department, and also theater and dance, two professors in the dance department. And so what you're seeing in this video is actually one of the dance students working with one of the cinema studies students to create this underwater story of a woman. Maybe she's drowning, maybe she's seeking the light. Later on, once we understood a little bit more about the story, we were able to contextualize this piece, but it was made first.
Right, okay. And Sam, it looks like this might be, you might have been involved in this video as well?
Yeah, that was me. Me and another student, Rahina. She's a cinema studies major, and she's also one of the scientists in this room. But this was just shot at Oberlin Pool with a red dress that she had created, and we were just looking at imagery and actually had overlapped different text over it in our original presentation of this piece. And as Chris said, it was incorporated into our story here with waterways in a different way, but it was still as vital.
Well, this is cool. So you'll be bringing an audience in here, and small groups at a time. Let's go to our next spot and check that out. Okay, now we are just off of the main Gordon Square Theater. And talk about this room. You got some bottles hanging here behind you. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, in this room, this is our museum area, so there are a couple sheets of like a sheer fabric that'll be hanging in there that have projections of one of our professors actually drinking water in this mountainside. It's really beautiful. And then a politician sitting in this chair watching endless advertisements of water playing on this installation that he's created. So.
And this is kind of the perfect example of my co-director, Raymond Bobgan, who runs CPT, his inventiveness in thinking about how to use our space to best tell the story that the students created all this material for. And so we were literally in the space between the Gordon Square Theater and the scene shop.
This is where everything gets built, right? I mean, this is...
Yeah, and he just thought we need to use as many of the spaces in our building as possible to be able to capture the journey that these characters go on, and in a way to showcase all of the different works that the students created. So it's pretty fun. This is normally the main thoroughfare for people to get through the building, and we've completely taken it over.
This is awesome. Well, let's follow you guys into now the main Gordon Square space. And this is just such an awesome place. I remember when this was first opened up, and I'm so glad it looks the way it does. It's just a fabulous, it's too bad they took the rake out, but it's a beautiful space, isn't it?
It's a beautiful building. Yeah, we're really, really lucky to be able to work here. It's old, and we cherish it.
It's awesome. And so you still have this beautiful proscenium here, and you're actually using for this space what's backstage here behind the curtain.
Right. We tore out the stage floor, and we're into the subfloor now, and we've converted this room into, once the lights are on, a kind of mythic place where perhaps the spirits live. So you're going to see some pools behind us. Sam is one of the characters that gets to spend a good chunk of part 2 in the pool, head to toe.
Talk about that. What's happening here?
That's been an interesting experience. Well, here is just where the spirits are kind of in their natural element, and so they're all moving around in between the tubs together and using the water to express emotion and storytelling. And yeah, it's been good fun trying to figure out how to stay warm in January in pools, but we're doing a good job with it. So.
Well, this looks like a fabulous production, collaboration, the part of a big 5-part series. Got a lot of performance art, and it's involved in this President Accounted project that we're all collaborating on throughout the city. So really looking forward to this. Thank you guys for showing us around and taking us to so many spaces here. Good luck with the production.
Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.